Rochester buildings, city buildings that are 200 years old, are getting a facelift.
Yeah, Michael Schwartz is live taking us through Center City Place on State Street. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, a $10 million project started 15 months ago, and check it out. This is one of the phases, 6 buildings, and according to the developers, it's the oldest row of buildings, the only row of buildings still standing in Rochester, and this is one of the unique lofts, and these floors still 200 years old, believe it or not. This morning, we're going to show you through the development process. Some are still being developed right now, but some are completed. Some are still available to rent. We're going to be with developers Phil and Tony, but why don't we head up to the loft, shall we? We're going to head up to the loft and come back at 6:39 on 13 WHAM. We'll see you guys later.
So cool.
Very nice.
All right, careful, Michael.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Things in the city of Rochester are being restored.
Center City Place on State Street has a lot of features to offer.
Michael Schwartz giving us a tour live this morning. Good morning. Ow. Good morning, Michael.
Hey, good morning, guys. Just coming down from the loft here at Center City Place. 4 floors, 41 apartment buildings, 9 commercial spaces on the bottom, a part of a $10 million project that was helped out by Restore New York to revitalize areas throughout the state. Developers Phil Georges and Tony Cilino got about $1 million from Restore New York to help improve this project and really give a boost to this area. What makes this row of buildings so unique?
Well, the fact that they're over 200 years, they're 200 years this year. We kept a lot of original features like the tin, the floors. We have hidden staircases. Every one of the 41 units is unique.
Yeah.
And the area is, being revitalized.
Tony, this floor is 200 years old, the one we're standing on right now, right?
Yes, it took a lot of work to get them to where they are now, but we feel that it's a big historical piece that remains along with other ones that are here. I'd love to show you more, but it was a lot of work and it all paid off.
Our in-studio crew is really loving these doors. What was about the craftsmanship, about revitalizing a space like this, that you said, all right, we have to have this, we have to have these types of features?
Well, a lot of it was driven by the Historical Society that dictates pretty much things that they want to keep for historical significance, but a lot of it was things that we agreed to spend a little extra money and make it look as best as we could.
Well, it's beautiful. Now, there are still apartments available for rent?
Yes, there's quite a few left. We're starting a big push now, so there are some still available.
Awesome. Now, we are going to show you other spots, too. There's still some spots that are still being developed. This started in November of 2018, just 15 months ago, but it's crazy. You must think like, wow, we're here already. We still have till December of 2020 for this entire road to be completed. What can we expect?
You can expect a lot of the same. We're making this unique. Every unit, all 41 units are unique. Each one has a different feature, lighting, space configuration, so everything is unique. In
addition to possibly expansion of the commercial spaces downstairs. Well, this is just one of the unique spots. We got a whole morning of the continued, that's being worked on right now, and the completed coming up here from Center City Place, 131 to 163 State Street. Back to you guys.
Michael, one thing
Michael.
you did pull down the stairs to the loft, but we need a demonstration of how you climb up there. Maybe we could do that when we see you next, because there's a bit of a gap. Yeah. Looks like you have
Possibly,
to hop over.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see that when we see you next time.
Practice so we don't see you hurt yourself in the air. Oh, my. The state has helped restore historic buildings in the city of Rochester.
The 2-year project is almost done, and Michael Schwartz is getting us an inside look at City Center Place on State Street this morning. A lot of nice finishes there, too, Michael. Look, we're playing real estate agent this morning.
Nice. We are. We're playing Find Your Apartment, Chris. And yeah, beautiful finishes here. Part of Center City Place, a $10 million project, $1 million about helped out by the state and part of Restore New York. And I want to bring in Alex Edelson, the Chief of Staff with the City of Rochester. You know, we're seeing these places really all over the City of Rochester, but what makes this location unique as part of that Restore New York?
Well, we want investment all over the city, and so to see this sort of investment on the west side of the river is really critical. You know, we've had a lot of new units come on over by Parcel 5, Tower 280, Sibley Place. but to have stuff over here on the west side of the river and give options for people at a variety of income levels, the ability to live and work and play downtown is hugely critical for us.
Where's the city going in terms of revitalization?
Well, look, we've had over the past few years over 200 creative class companies move into downtown Rochester. We've had thousands of new residents move into downtown Rochester. We see that trend continuing, and we're seeing this sort of revitalization across our city. So we're really excited about what's happening and what's to come. We're seeing young people, empty nesters. You know, our city has the highest growth rate of a millennial population in the entire New York, outside of New York City. And so, you know, that's huge for us. That's huge for our revitalization and for jobs and, you know, to grow our economy.
I want to bring in Phil and Tony, the developers here for Center City Place. What are people realizing about Rochester, especially about the rental market?
Rochester is a unique place. It has a lot of great opportunities and low cost, and that's what's driving the market right now. It's a seller's market right now because of the cost of living here in Rochester.
Tony, when you saw this opportunity, I mean, this is you said the most historic property in the city of Rochester?
Yes, the buildings are they're the oldest standing row buildings in the city of Rochester. And when we developed these apartments, we kept a lot of the historical significance in them, such as, you know, hidden staircases that are in the building.
Yeah, you got to see this. You got to show me this.
And also, there's a lot of buildings. There's tin in the ceilings. There's we have units that have 200-year-old tin in the ceilings. It's still intact. That we're going to show off here in the next few minutes, hopefully.
Making it affordable. We're going to continue to tour Center City Place, but you have a special announcement that you want to tell someone at home real quick, right?
Yes, I do. Today happens to be my triplets' birthday. They're going to be 15 today, and hello, guys, and I hope you come and visit the place later on.
Well, happy birthday to the triplets out there. What are their names?
Dante, Luciano, and Angelo.
Dante, Luciano, and Angelo. Happy birthday to you. Spending a great morning with your father. Guys, back to you.
Oh, happy
awesome.
birthday to the triplets.
Irish triplets. No.
I love their names. I love their names.
Thank you.
All right, we're taking a look at some recent renovations to some historic buildings downtown.
Yeah, what is old, now new again. Once old, new again. Michael Schwartz down there giving us a look at some of the lofts and what they have to offer. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. You know, I think I really like this one, and you're going to see many features as to why this has been my favorite one so far in the morning. First off, check out that awesome view, the Kodak building, waking up to that beautiful blue sky in the background. And this brick right here, 200-year-old brick. We're in a very historic building right now, Center City Place, and who knows more about it than Phil Georges and Tony Cilino, the developers here. You said this is the oldest row of buildings in Rochester.
Still standing, yes.
Still standing, 200 years old.
Correct.
So this brick is the original brick.
It is.
This floor
Is the original floor, 200 years old.
You required to keep this?
Yes. Awesome.
Now, there are still stages being developed. We have how many apartments finished?
We have 23 apartments finished out of 41 that we're working on.
A $10 million project that the state actually helped fund almost $1 million of that. It's part of the Restore New York program to revitalize areas throughout New York, and this is a great area to revitalize, to really give a boost to. Now, there's still work being done over here. Explain what's going on over here.
So, as you see across, that's phase 2 being worked on right now. We started. Also, there's a potential of having permitted deck top on this area here on the second floor. We're going to possibly have a deck that all tenants are going to have access to. So we're waiting for approvals on that.
We're waiting for that and waiting for the weather to warm up. We're right by Frontier Field, right on the west side. But this could be a bedroom. This could be whatever you want it to be. But we got to check out the rest of the apartment because this keeps going on and on. How much square foot is this apartment about?
It's 1,400 square feet, this apartment. It has 2 bedrooms, washer and dryer in every unit. It's an all-in-one washer. If you look, you just put your clothes in and you take it out dry.
That's a huge help, and I'm sure that's really beneficial for people who are looking to rent it. While we're speaking of renting, what does something like this go for?
This particular unit is $2,500, but we have units from $900 to $2,500. We have 1-bedroom studios and 2 bedrooms.
Now, you mentioned that price range, $900 to around $2,500 for this. Would you say this is more of your high-end apartment?
This is the $2,500 unit.
This is the $2,500 unit. And check out this. What I love about it is we went from that lofty feel where we still showed some of the brick, and now we're in an apartment where it has, full finish, and you could really see, you may not even realize that you're in a 200-year-old building. What was the challenges of literally starting from scratch?
So a lot of the floors were not deteriorated and not safe. So a lot of them we had to rebuild, and some were so deteriorated that we had to actually put in new flooring. But as we went along, we found things that were really good that we wanted to keep and mimic. So a lot of the baseboards in the buildings are really 8 to 10-inch baseboards, which are really from the 1920s and 30s. So we decided to do all the buildings with that, despite the cost. So there was a lot of challenges when it comes to the condition of the walls and ceilings and floors that we had to work on. It really took a lot of time and a lot of planning, and there was a lot of delays because of the state of what the buildings were in.
Yeah, you mentioned the uniqueness, and what's great about this morning is that you're not going to see an apartment that looks exactly the same. I think that's what is really interesting about Center City Place, 131 to 163 State Street, all 6 of these buildings.
Yes, all 6 of the buildings are unique buildings. We cut pass-throughs from one building to the other building. We have elevators, so you can walk literally from one unit to the other.
Yeah, and check out the bathrooms. Really got to see the bathrooms because this is a beautiful feature as well. Phil, you were going to, I'm sorry, Tony, you were going to say that that's part of the uniqueness for this.
So, correct. One of the things we wanted to do when we started developing this is every place you go to, most of the apartments are all the same. They vary from sizes and perhaps colors on the walls, but ours are completely different from one unit to the other. Out of all the 41 units, they were all going to be different one way or another, whether it's fixtures, whether it's the walls, whether it's the floors, the ceilings. We still have apartments that we need to see that have original 200-year-old tin in the ceilings. So they're definitely different and unique, and that was the biggest thing that I was going for when I started developing these buildings. I wanted something that was totally different.
And what's really interesting is that you still try to make it affordable, but the features on here, you really went all out when it comes to the appliances and what you put down in the kitchen. I saw that that's important to you.
All countertops in all units are quartz. We have gas ranges in some of the units. All units have washer, dryer, microwave, high-end finishes, lighting. So we took everything, made it unique.
Well, we're going to continue apartment shopping here in Fox Rochester. What do you think, guys? I think this is the one that I could really maybe see myself in. I really love these blue cabinets, plus that Kodak view. I don't know, pretty picture perfect to me, if you ask me. Do you think this is the best one that we've seen all morning?
Looks like a good place for you.
Well, why don't we all pitch in and then we can have like a good day cave. Not a man cave, not a woman cave, just a good day cave.
Good day cave.
Good day cave. We'll take naps.
That looks like a good place. That's like, my she escape.
Deal.
She-scape?
She-scape.
I haven't heard of that one yet.
Get away. Buildings in Rochester are being restored for residential and commercial space.
The project called Center City Place, and it's located next to City Hall.
Michael Schwartz is live, giving us a tour this morning, showing us how those 6 buildings are connected. Hey, Michael.
Hey, good morning, guys. You'll notice that this is more of a blue hue in this room compared to the yellow. And Phil Georges is one of the developers here with Tony Cilino, who's back there. But what's really cool is that these buildings are connected. This is 6 buildings, and what you're saying is that these are the oldest still standing row of buildings left in Rochester.
That's correct. And what we did is we made pass-throughs to all these buildings so that you can go from building to building without going outside and getting to the fitness room or getting to other areas of the building. As you see, we're walking through from one building, now we're in a new building.
Just like that. Just like that. Now, State Street is just out here.
State Street is just out here, and as you can see, we've got some of the original brick. We've got security cameras. This is just one of the many entrances.
Now, when you come into this unit, this is now 139 State Street because this is the apartment here. Apartment 202, Tony, the interesting part about these are the features that you have on the doors throughout
Correct.
all the units.
So we have keyless fobs on every door and also every main entrance that everyone has a special fob to their location only. And we also have two-way cameras and intercom systems that if someone rings the bell, you're able to see who's there and also let them in during the process. So every single apartment has these features, and there is a camera at every single door as well.
So, you know, what we're talking about is that revitalization. So a $10 million project, you took this whole thing on. It started in November 2018, so 15 months ago, and now we still have, there's 41 units. How many are completed?
23 units are completed, and we have 18 more to go.
18 more to go. So this is a studio, right?
Studio unit, yes.
What was your goal? I know that one of the things we mentioned when we were talking is that affordable was definitely a key word.
Correct, yes. I wanted to make these affordable to all residents in the city of Rochester. We're right next to City Hall. I felt like it was important to keep them within reach of everyone in the city, especially the younger folks that are moving into the city, which is a big thing that's going on lately.
You know, I think we're talking about it. I think, Phil, we were talking about it, how you were saying it's a seller's market right now. I mean, Chris Betts knows well. She just did a story about how real estate companies haven't even seen this type of audience that they're seeing. I know she spoke to one that said, I've never seen it like this. What are you seeing now as developers? I'm very curious because you own other properties as well.
Correct.
What are you seeing the market right now in Rochester and about revitalization in the city? Because I'm new here. When I first got here, they said, well, our city's on the rise. And I said, well, it's beautiful already. Yes. But this is only continuing to rise?
Correct. I suspect that there's going to be more of these developments going on in the city, especially in the downtown area. There is a big demand. There's just not enough units. Every time we have units available, we rent them quickly. Therefore, even these, we have 12 appointments just today alone. So there is a demand for apartments, and surely there's a demand for brand new apartments, because obviously Rochester is an extremely old city. So anything new is going to be on demand.
But still has that rustic, that historic vibe, because this was an old warehouse, correct?
Yeah.
Correct.
And if you see, we got historical tin that's been here for 200 years, and we added new features and kept things looking good.
Really interesting. Again, so how can people call you up or stop by if they would like to
They
look at
can
it?
either go to centercityplace.com or call 585-266-3696.
All right. Well, we're going to check out the lobby coming up next, but we'll send it back to you guys in studio. And Chris, I'm pretty sure you're in studio. You know this well. You just did a whole story on this about the market in and around Rochester.
I not only did a story about it, Michael, I'm living it firsthand. News on the front porch.
That's
I
right.
have that.
That is so true.
Yeah, you guys have all had to hear my
so
tales
true.
of real
Yeah.
estate.
So true.
But these look beautiful, absolutely
do.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
So.
Give me some inspiration of how to recolor or reorganize some of the cabinets in the kitchen,
I
too.
know, right? Yeah, we've been talking cabinets behind the scenes. Really important stuff going on here this morning, right?
All right, all morning we've been checking out Center City Place, a new project in Rochester, restoring some of the city's oldest buildings.
Well, Michael Schwartz is live there taking us through the restoration. They've done an incredible job on it, Michael.
Yeah, that's for sure. You know, I've been talking to Tony and Phil because this has been a project that you've been working on since how long? When did plans really start?
Well, it was back in 2018 is when we started this project, so it's ongoing. As you can see, the front of the buildings, as far as the retail area, has not even been started yet, so we're still going on with that, and hopefully as the weather breaks, we'll start on that as well.
Right, because it goes from here right above Pizza Stop all the way down to the end of the block, right where you're seeing the Welcome to High Falls sign. Correct. 6 buildings, and you said again that this is the oldest standing building in Rochester of row of buildings.
Correct. These are the oldest still standing row of buildings in the city of Rochester.
200 years old. I was talking to you guys. I've been thinking how I can't fathom how you take what a building that didn't even have rooms, that didn't even have apartment buildings. It's one thing to renovate, but you restored. I mean, the headache to put all of that through. Why'd you do this?
We wanted to take on a project that we have never taken on before and leave a mark in the city.
Yeah, because you're looking to revitalize this area. It's part of Restore New York. They helped with about $1 million of the $10 million project to really give this area a boost, just like many other areas around New York that could use a little bit more revitalization. Let's head into the lobby to warm up a little bit, shall we? We'll head into the lobby. Now, again, this is still, nothing was here when you did this, correct?
Correct.
Nothing was here.
Vacant space, nothing was here. Obviously, this makes perfect sense to put the lobby here. It's the beginning of the rows. There's one here and there's one at the end. There's an elevator at each end. So obviously, this is our main lobby to all the buildings. It's accessible to all the buildings as well, so everyone can come down and get their meal in this location and take the elevators up.
What's really cool is this picture right here of State Street in Rochester back in 1952, and this is the building right here. This is Center City Place. As you see Kodak right in the background, the Genesee sign still up there, of course, but this is such an awesome spot. What was so attractive for this building? Did you see an opportunity because it could use the revitalization?
Yes, so living and growing up here in Rochester, I realized I drove by these buildings every single day of my life around town, and I realized that they needed help, and it was just, no one was taking care of it, nobody was paying attention to it, and I saw something that I could turn it into something exciting and also, bring in a lot of retail, a lot of restaurants. The whole row of the buildings are going to be restaurants and bars. That's our goal as far as this area, to be able to have, a lot of action going on in this area, walking traffic and so on, which has been not the case for a long time.
And so you're looking to see that growth here, a place that you grew up with. That's kind of cool to check out. What I want to see is that area that you've been talking about all morning. You're really proud of these tins.
We ran into, in the basement of the buildings, we ran into an area that had a lot of tin thrown in a corner. So I decided to pick up the tin, clean it up, and not necessarily change it in any way. I just kind of put poly over them, and then I put frames around it and turned it into some art that we could display along the hallways, and that's what we have now. Every floor has some art, and this hallway obviously has the majority of it. So I'm kind of proud of this, that we were able to restore this 200-year-old tin that was laying in the corner of a basement. And as you can see, it's exactly the way it was 200 years ago.
Wow, and the building has just turned 200 this year, I know. What I'm curious to really know, being a developer, specifically in Rochester, is it worth it?
Absolutely. At least it is to me. Like I said, I've been here all my life, and doing something like this is so exciting to us. And anyone that lives in the city of Rochester, watching all this happen is exciting and obviously needed. For a long time, these areas were not being utilized to its potential, and I believe that that's going to happen now.
18 of the 41 apartments still being under construction. I'm going to ask you, Phil, the same question as we're 10 months away to the entire project being completed. Is it worth it to do this in Rochester in 2020 right now?
Yes, it's absolutely worth it. If you look at Realtor.com, Rochester is the #1 city for rental market, rated twice as the #1 city in America, which is unheard of, to have a city like Rochester to become, such an affordable city. A lot of people are moving to Rochester. You have the empty nesters moving from the suburbs who no longer want to cut grass, and we have the the young urban professionals who want to live and walk downtown.
We're really seeing that growth and really seeing Rochester be the gem it is. And with projects like this, it's only being revitalized more to continue the growth of the city.
Yes.
Well, Phil and Tony, thank you so much again for this morning. And Tony, happy birthday to your triplets, by the way.
Thank you.
You gave them a shout out earlier this morning. They're still taking... You're still showing rentals here at Center City Place, 131 to 163 State Street, right downtown on the west side. We're going to send it back to you guys.
And thanks for taking us outside. So now we got some perspective of where they're located.
Yeah.
Pizza stop right there. I mean, dinner.
That's all you need.
Constantly.
Pizza, maybe throw in a Chinese place. I'm all set. All right, Marty.